Oh yes, my grinder's finally here. Let's have a look. I wonder how it looks. Huh? Oh no.
Honey, honey, would you still love me if my knob wasn't straight?
I wanted to buy a hand grinder to add to my arsenal of grinders, but I had a bunch of requirements. It had to grind easy, take 50 grams of beans, have at least 3 points of contacts on the inner shaft, and have more than 7 cores on the inner burr. I found the cafesing Grizz 63, but shipping and duties to South Africa would be too expensive, and while looking for a seller, I found this, the Havmore G51. A very similar concept, if not identical, so I took the plunge and ordered it. This brings me to my little disclaimer. I bought this with my own money so that I can say what I want, and I would like to keep it this way, but I'm being taxed heavily as I'm now seen as an importer. If you want me to keep it this way, then please like and subscribe. It costs you nothing, and also if you want to purchase it, then please use my affiliate links. It also has no additional costs to you. Thank you, and now back to the review. So what is it? Well, simply put, it's a Mazzer Kony style 63mm conical burr in a hand grinder, but with some crazy ghost style burr crushing added in. My brain was like, why would someone do that? And since there was nothing else, I decided to buy it. Credit has to be given for Havmore for calling this a 51mm grinder, but since this is YouTube and since everybody wants a big conical burr, and since everyone else is calling theirs a 63mm conical burr, this is going to be titled a 63mm conical ham grinder. But the cutting dimensions of the inner and outer burr are identical to the Kony, so I'm going to call this a 63. You will likely soon see a bunch of other 63mm hand grinders with the same design. I wanted to open this grinder up for a teardown video, but 5 minutes in I noticed that my thick hands will never be able to reassemble it. Keep your sanity and don't disassemble this. A bit of burr seasoning might spice things up a bit. So let me not waste your time. This hand grinder is for people who love dark chocolatey notes. No clarity here, no separation, no lots of acidity, just full body chocolatey notes. Trust me on this, I tried. This does body and chocolate with a hint of acidity for balance. Extracting anything else from this is like extracting high frequency notes from a subwoofer. And this is not a bad thing. This depends solely on what you like. I tested the Havmore G51 with these beans, and the difference between these two grinders is so big that 90% of people would think that it's totally different beans. On the G51 it's full bodied chocolate, and on the iTop 64 it's caramel with a lot of acidity and sweetness. Grounds from the G51 prefer more pressure, while the iTop with its 64mm flat burrs prefer less. Using various grind sizes and profiles, the G51 cannot extract caramel flavors, while the iTop can extract both caramel and chocolatey flavors. Coffee from the G51 will have more body, while coffee from the iTop will have less body but better clarity and separation. I also tested on some beans with higher acidity and could get decent acidity with careful technique using a V60. If you are into headphones or earphones, the G51 is like a single dynamic driver earphone that's with lots of body but not lots of clarity. It's kind of like the sound core of hand grinders, just slightly better balanced. While this flat burr is like a planar magnetic. Less body but more clarity and separation. Sure, you can extract acidity, but it's mostly just to bring balance. If light roasts are your thing, then this might not be the grinder for you. If you like dark roast and want some quick info, then here goes. In terms of balance, this is a definite upgrade over built-in conical grinders in DeLonghi and Breville machines, as well as the various Shore Door, Amaze Chef, and other white label 14mm conicals. Now for usability. The grinder only has one real usability problem. When it gets humid, I cannot get enough grip on the slight texture of the hand grip. Havmore does include a little polyurethane jacket, but it moves easily. A jank fix would be to secure it with 2 cable ties, one at the top and one bottom. But if you really want a Rolls-Royce experience, some roadie handlebar tape should work like a charm. Cricket and tennis grips should work as well. On my unit, I get a total of 88 stepped grind settings. One complete turn of the ring provides 58 settings and another with 30. Increasing grind size adds 50 microns per step to the burr movement. Please do remember that burr movement is not grind size. The grinder can definitely go fine enough for Turkish, but I did not test it as it's not really my thing. Grinding is also crazy fast. See the later sections of this video for more info. The grinder takes up to 50 grams of beans. The catch cup is magnetic and the handlebar is super secure when attached. And as mentioned in the intro, the knob of my unit is not totally straight. This doesn't bother me, but I know someone who would totally rebuild the handle just to fix this issue. So I thought if I would mention this for in case you have the incredibly rare knob is not straight phobia. I actually find this incredibly amusing and laughed for 2 minutes straight when I finally noticed this. At least it doesn't shock me like the iTop. The shaft also has an incredibly small wobble when pressed from the side, and trust me, if I could safely get away with adding a shaft wobble joke into the intro, I would, but I think YouTube wouldn't find it that funny. But anyways, the wobble is only present if you press from the side within the shaft. It's very minimal, it doesn't wobble when you grind, it has no effect on the grinding performance or the grind size distribution, and I'm sure it's only there to stop the bearings and shaft from merging when it gets a little bit hot. Now that that is out of the way, let's cover espresso and pour over. Italian style espresso is where this hand grinder shines. 1:1 and 1:2 ratio shots is where this grinder is happy. Do that with some smoky chocolatey beans and this grinder will deliver. In my testing and on my unit, grind adjustments from 18 to 24 will work for espresso in a 51mm IMS basket. This might not sound like a lot, but it's more than adequate. I tried everything from turbo shots to long bloom shots and can comfortably say that the best shots were the standard 1:2 ratio shots with higher pressures. I also tried the 45-degree tilt method and it just resulted in dull espresso. Depending on your beans, you could probably mix this with extensive blooming and pressure profiling and get better results. Grinding espresso is also crazy fast. Even with my terrible technique, I was able to grind 14 grams of espresso within 35 seconds. I can actually grind even faster if I had better technique, but I actually recommend that you grind a bit slower. Retention is fair at a constant 0.1 gram, and knocking the grinder after grinding and doing an extra turn is highly recommended to catch any stray pieces and to drop the fines. Regardless of your basket size, I highly recommend a dosing funnel as the outer diameter of the catch can is 62 millimeters, and as you can see, this barely covers it. And now for V60. First off, if you only do V60, there are better options out there. The fines produced by this is too much and makes this tricky. With careful and overkill techniques and really high quality beans, this provides good pour over at best. I am just going to read you my notes as this will definitely prove my point. And just for reference, I use the Hario V60 paper as it is common and provides a good reference point. I also use the 2-cup V60 using Hoffman's 50-gram 2-pour method with a 1-minute bloom. Kettle directly, 52 grind setting, 50 gram, 55-second grind time, 220 total drawdown time. Way too strong, too astringent, over extracted, disgusting and felt bad for the kitchen sink and plumbing. Makeshift slow funnel, 55 grind setting, 50 gram, 47-second grind time, 2-minute drawdown time, not too bitter, hint of acidity, hint of astringency, overall good balance and good taste with lots of body. Smooth and 6 out of 10. 1 full turn of the grind adjustment at 0. 45-second grind time, super fast with lots of swirling to slow down flow. 2-minute drawdown time, less bitterness and less astringency, noticeably better than previous. 6.8 out of 10. I tried another at 1 turn and 4 on the grind adjustment, but it got under extracted. 0 again on the grind setting. 6 grinds of 5 grams of beans each, grinding at a 45-degree angle at a slow pace, makeshift slow drip. 1 minute 50 drawdown time. Had to swivel a lot to slow down. Full body, actual acidity, smooth, barely astringent, only slightly bitter, 7.5 out of 10, but you have to be crazy. Maybe do 10 grams at a time at a 45-degree angle. I can possibly do better with a slightly finer grind and a lower temperature, but this is already way better than my first attempt. I then tried with Rwanda semi beans, a lighter roast, more fruity, and much higher acidity. Grind setting at 56, 4 down from previous brew. 50 gram split into 4 grinds, grinding at 45-degree angle, even less bitterness, more acidity, and good body. Flavor separation, clarity, and juiciness are still missing. Some astringency, but can be fixed with better brew. If this video gets at least 150 likes, I will try the half cold brew method with this grinder. And there you go. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, then please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it as my channel is still quite new. And yeah, I've been away for a while. Things came up, but things are better now and I'm looking forward to making more videos on YouTube. Oh. Dat was pathetisch.